99% you will not have access only to give permissions, set for object level permissions and all. But since this is our SQL course, so we'll teach you everything. Who knows,
Okay.
like if you have any requirement, you should be aware of that, right?
Okay, bro. Got it. Thanks.
And that is a very simple topic. It's all about some 2, 3 commands, grant and revoke command. That's it. There is nothing much in that. The rest of this topic now, I think today is what? Today is our 4th session on SQL, I guess.
Yes.
Now the next 5, 6 session is all about select statements, stored procedures. It's all about SQL queries.
Okay, bro. Got it. Thanks.
Just give me a minute. Meanwhile, please launch SSMS in your laptop. Okay. So what we will do is we'll go ahead and launch a new query. I have selected as SQL batch 3. Okay. So now we'll again revise few basics which we already learned. If you want to query a table with all the records, all the column, what is the query? Select star from table name, which is superstore. What I will do is the superstore has that. I'll just rename this table. I'll remove that special characters. It's not needed. Okay. Okay. So you will get all the columns, all the rows. And if you see on the extreme right, total number of rows, you will see it on the section over here. Okay. So this is a very basic statement. We also learned if you want specific columns, you can remove star and you can add whatever columns you want. Now, let's say I want to know what are the rows where the shipment mode is standard class, which means I want to filter data where the shipment mode is standard class. So we have to use where clause, where column name, which is shipment mode. Always remember if you have a space in your column name, so you have to give it like this. Shipment mode. Okay. Yeah. So generally I just renamed this table, no, that's why it's not showing. But if I close and relaunch, all the column names will automatically show up. And if you select, it will automatically select this brackets. You don't have to type. If it is not showing, you have to manually type. Okay.
Whenever there is a space, right?
Yeah, whenever there is a space. Now, since concept is same in Excel, whenever we pass any string or something, we'll use double quotes, right? Here we'll use single quotes. Same in Power BI also, we'll use single quote. We'll say standard plus. Okay, if I run this query, I have 6,120 rows. Okay. Can you write this query and see if it is working? And if somebody who doesn't have Superstore, yesterday showed you, right, how to import the data. Or if you have any other table, use that table and just write a where statement.
Create that SQL patch 3.
Just right click on this any database, click on new database. Give some name.
Data.
You have the sample super.
Yeah. You have to select Excel here.
Excel.
Rows.
Is it company? Sorry. There is no time. No point.
You know,
Say what? Excel sheet.
enable it.
Whenever you click the product activation field, uh, mm, just join the Zoom link. I'll share the data. So those who don't have sample superstore, unable to import the Excel sheet, I will share one SQL query. You can run it. Okay. So please join Zoom link.
Javed, it actually throws an error showing the provider is not registered on the local machine.
Is it okay? No issues. I'll share a SQL file. You can use that file. I'll just give you how to execute that. Give me a minute. Please download this file. It's around 12 MB file. Done, no? Once it is downloaded, save that file in some folder and just double click and open that file. When you double click and open this file, it should look like this. If you have created a database called SQL batch 3, keep it as is, don't change it. But if you have created with some other database name, whatever the database name, you just write that name here. It is nothing but all this entire superstore table will get created in that database. Okay, that is option 1. Option 2, if you don't want to write it, just remove the first 2 lines and then change the database. Yes, click on OK. Any option works there. And if you can read that file, it is nothing but you can also see create table. Okay, whatever sample superstore, it is just creating table with all the column names. It has all the insert statements. So 10,000 insert statements will be there because every one insert statements talk about one specific row. If you go a little bit on the right hand side, all the data you can see. How do you execute it? Just click on execute button. Make sure which database you want this table to be created. Please select that from the section here and then click on execute. And you will see in couple of seconds, this thing will get created, table called superstore. We went to Tirupati. Yeah? If it is created, let me know.
Yes, sir, it's created.
Once it is created, go open, click on new query and write a statement called select star from superstore and see if you're getting all the records.
We can't hear your voice, sir.
Am I audible for others?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Javed, we can hear you.
Maybe Ashwini, you can just check your network, or maybe you can disconnect and connect again.
Query completed with errors.
That's why SQL batch 3, there is no database. Your database is batch 2.
Okay, should I create it?
That's okay. I think it is already created one table. It's already created. Here, you write one query called select star from superstore. Just write this query and see if everything is working once it is created. Oh, done no?
Yes, Javed, executed, bro. Thank you.
Okay.
Now, Javed, I have a question. The command or the details, whatever you supplied in the chat, that had a very lengthy, commands and text in that, right? So in that case, we can, when we want to execute some new query statement or something, we can click on new query and continue with the
Yeah, you can do
process,
that.
right?
Yes,
All
yes.
we have to do is just select the database from the left-hand corner, from the drop-down and execute it.
Yes, right.
Okay.
See, the previous query which I shared, this one, this is just an object creation query. If you look at it, it's a create table. It has all the data. Okay, you don't have to use this window to write your queries. This is just, I have shared you the dump because you are not able to import this one. So these are all the same select SQL queries only. It's creating a table and below it is inserting the data, nothing else.
Right.
But you have to do it only once. If you do it again, you will get an error because it will try to overwrite. And this entire query will get an error because already there is an object called superstore. So this part will get error, but this part will get executed, which means if you have 10,000 rows, if you again run this, it will become 20,000 rows. How many times you click, how many times, that many times it will go and insert the data. So make sure you do it only once.
Got it. Okay.
So can you show me that syntax again, sir? It's showing an error here from incorrect syntax near keyboard where.
Okay, here is the syntax.
So the same thing I have entered, sir, but it's
Oh
showing
yeah,
an error.
select star. Can you paste your query in the chat box?
Yes, sir.
Maybe if you're not talking, please go on mute.
Yeah, yeah, sir.
Select star from superstore you have done and you have given colon. Please remove that colon, because if you don't remove it, this query will get executed. And this is a wrong query. There is no select statement here. So please remove this colon and then run the query. It will work.
Okay.
Okay, working for everyone, right? So far what we did, we just filtered our data where the shipment mode is standard class. Now, I also want to put one more filter, which means I want to put a filter for segment should be corporate. Okay, the first filter is shipment mode standard class, which is already done. The second filter is segment should be only corporate. How do we do it? Just add and column name is segment is equal to corporate. And now if you run the query, you should see 1,874 records.
Sir, if I remove that colon also, it's showing the error, sir. Same error.
Okay, can you share your screen? You haven't removed colon, no? Where you have removed? After superstore, that colon you haven't removed. No. After superstore. Yes. Now can you run it? Just click on execute. So you're getting the results, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, done. It's working. 1874. Okay, let's put one more filter. We have quantity. Okay. Quantity should be greater than 5. We will again use and quantity greater than 5. Here, no need to pass in single quotes because it's a numerical. QUANTITY. Nothing like that. Whatever is a column name, you give that, ideally it should work. You should see 386 records. Greater than 5. Okay. So now if you look at the order of operation, this is one of the most important question in the interview. Will quantity greater than greater than 5 will executed first, or will the shipment mode is equal to standard class will get executed first? Which part of your SQL query gets executed first? That is the question. No. Standard class. After where clause, whatever you are writing, first this will get executed, and then it goes here, and then it goes here. Okay. What is the order of operation in your SQL query? So when you ask, when you get asked by this question, order of operation, first thing is from is getting executed from table. The second part, where clause will get executed. Third is the select statement, which means first SQL backend database engine will go and fetch the data from the table called superstore. Then it'll put a filter called where, and then it goes all the columns which you have given as a filters, filtered the data, got some result. Then it comes to the select statement, checks what all columns you're calling. If you're saying star, it means it brings all the columns. Then it will share that results in the query editor. That is the order of operation. Order of operation, I'll write it here. 1. Maybe not here, I'll write it here. First order of operation is from. Second one is where. Third is select. There are few more different order of operations, but for this query, this is the order of operation. Okay. Very important topic. And this will, I have seen in all the organizations, candidates has reported that, this question has come up. Okay. There will be a question on order of operations. Okay. Shall we move to the next one? Now, if you look at it, what did we learn? So far, we already knew this statement called select star from, but now we learned a where. It's a clause. It means it's a filter. Where is a clause. In SQL, we call it as a clause, and is equal to, greater than. These are called as operators. Okay. And or, this is also called as an operators. Now we will learn little bit more about the operators first, and then let's come back and learn select statements more. So operators may, same like Excel, there is no change. We have plus, minus, divided by, multiplication, and then this percentage, it is a remainder modulo. Okay. How do we use this in our SQL, right? I will write a simple query, select 1 plus 1. Okay. If I run this statement, the answer will be 2. Okay. I'm using a plus operator. Instead of plus, if I give minus 1 minus 1, answer is 0. Similarly, divide, I'll add a divide symbol. 1. What else we have? Multiplication. Multiplication, I'll do 5 into 2, 10. No need to give. Colon, which colon? This one, huh? I mean, that's, you can give it. There is no mandatory requirement. You can give it or you can exclude it. If you have.
It won't work.
For which one?
Both statement.
No, it'll work. If I run this statement, it'll work. What he has done is he added a colon here. It means this is the end of statement. This is treating as a new query, so it will not work.
Without that also
it will work. That's what I told. As a best practice, have a colon, because if you have multiple SQL queries and by mistake, if you click on execute, everything gets executed, right? So we were doing what? Plus we did addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. This is remainder actually. Remainder is 2, right? 0. Because 10 divided by 5. The remainder is 0. Okay. So this is how we can use operators. So operators can be used in anywhere. Now what I have done is I have just used some numbers. You can also do it with our sample superstore table. Example, we have a column called select star comma sales into quantity. If I run this query, if you see here, we have sales and quantity, right? Example, I want to do a multiplication of this quantity from superstore. So what will happen, right? It will go to every row and then multiply 32.7 into 3, which is 98.1. Please note, operators are at row level because you have given star here, na? So it goes to every row and does the operation. Okay. What it is trying to say is star means it has already taken all the columns, whatever in table, comma, you are giving one more addition to that same select statement. You are adding one more column, which is called as sales into quantity. Now, if you see here, column name is nothing because what you have done is you have just written a formula which is sales into quantity. If you want to give a name, you should use a keyword called as and give what is a column. Example, I'll say total invoice amount. You can give whatever you want. Make sure there is no space. If you're giving space, add the bracket. Now, if I execute this and go to the extreme right, you'll see that same column name, total invoice. Sometimes I have also seen even if you don't give as keyword, it would still go ahead and rename that column. But as a best practice, please go ahead and use the keyword called as. Okay, can you try this?
If we are using any spaces in between total and invoice,
Hmm.
so only bracket helps out.
Bracket will help out there. Example,
When did we use column?
new column. Whenever you give comma, it means it creates a new column.
Total invoice. So,
So Javed, right after select star and comma comes in place, right?
Yeah. When you say
Okay.
comma, it means you're creating additional column.
Okay, got it. And sales into quantity, there should not be any space.
There should not be any space. You can add space like this. It works. There's no issue with that. It still works. But generally, we don't add space.
Okay, the query is successfully executed, Javed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, working for everyone. So now we know how to create a column. Column is again a formula. The new column which we have just now created is a formula. Now, probably I want to create a static column next to it. What is static column? Static column is I want to just give example forecast as 0.30% or margin 0.30. So 0.30 is nothing here. It's all, these are all the superstore columns. No, this new thing which I am telling is a static column. Any static column you want to give, first is the value. Value is the example 0.30 as what is the column name? Column name is margin. Whenever you give this 0.30 gets created for every row now. You can see the results. It created one column called margin and then there is a value called 0.30. This is how we can create a static value in your select query. Can you try this?
now we'll give as it's a column.
Column. If you don't give as, it will still create a column, but it will show as no column name.
But Javed, what if we just want to simply add the static value, what would be the command?
You can just add operator here. Example, sales into quantity plus 0.30.
Okay.
Okay.
But here the confusion is the static value, as you said, it's just static across all the rows.
Right.
So why is it coming next to sales into quantity? That is my question.
No, this is discount. This is different. This is a direct column from our superstore. This is the column which we created.
Yeah, if you see that it's 0.30 static across all the rows, right?
Right. Because
Yeah.
here we saved no 0.30. That's why it is static.
No, bro. But my question is, select star, comma, sales into quantity as totally no. So why is that coming when we are calling it as a static value?
No, this is a different column. Okay.
Okay.
And this
Okay.
one is a different column.
Got it. Okay. So the comma
Yeah.
separated means it's column.
Yes.
It-
This
okay.
is altogether one different column. Example, if I remove this and if I run, you see that column is no more exist. Okay. Now I'll tell you why why do we need to create a column? Maybe you are writing one SQL query in Power BI. You remember we can do this in Power BI also. In Power Query you have learned, right? In
Yes.
Power Query you can multiply sales into quantity.
Yeah.
And if same formula, if you write it in SQL, it means you are putting entire load on your database. So no performance impact on Power BI. Same formulas, if you write it on Power BI, imagine like this, if you have written 50 formulas, if your number of rows is 5 million, it has to write this formula in Power BI, which is a tedious and manual job in for Power BI. Power BI is a reporting tool. As a best practice, all the simple row level formulas, we will push it to database. I was talking about that in our Power BI session, right?
Yeah.
Now, this part gets executed directly in SQL, and you can now use this output in your Power BI. You don't have to write any formulas in Power.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
It will be ready as is. Everything is calculated. Generally, all formulas try to push everything on SQL because that is the best way and it will not hamper your reports.
Sure, John. Thanks.
Okay, so we know how to create a calculated column. Calculated column is nothing but it has some formula. We know how to create a static column. Okay, why do we create static column? For example, in Power BI, some guy is building a report and he wants to use this value as some target. He wants to write some formula at the reporting layer where he wants to use it as a parameter or something. Then he will go ahead and use it. But for us, the requirement is that we got one request to create a static column and we are creating. Now, so far, what we did is we put a filter and we were able to create some columns. Now, let's imagine we have around almost 35 columns in the superstore. You get a request to create a report, which is nothing but by segment wise, can you tell me what is the total sales? What is the total quantity? What is the discount? What is the profit? I'll repeat my question. Segment wise, where is the segment? We need to get all the numbers at segment level, which means your report should look like this. Consumer sales is, for example, 25,000. Corporate. Okay. So basically all the segments which you have, uska total sales. But if you look at our SQL, our data is at what level? Order ID level. Our data is at order ID level. No? So how do we write this query? Query is very simple. Select segment. Why do we need to write star? If you write star, all the columns will get pulled in. We don't want all the columns. Segment, comma, sum of sales from superstore. If you execute this, you will see some weird result. Okay. Always remember, whenever you give any function, aggregate functions like sum, count, average, min, max, your query has to have a group by clause. You need to group your data because You are not generating data at order ID level, you are generating data at segment level. So for segment ke liye, we need to group the data at segment level. We will use a keyword called group by segment. Okay. Let's go ahead and run this query. You can see it has taken all the unique segments which we have in our data. And for every segment, whatever is the sales amount, it has automatically calculated using a sum function. Okay. Now I want to rename this. I'll call this as total sales. Okay. Can you try this query and see if it is working?
It's working, bro.
It came right. Remember, group by nothing. It's simple. It will group the data. You will use this group by clause most of the time. Be it you are a SQL developer, Power BI, Tableau, any Excel developer, whatever it is, any data work, this select star group by where clause, you will use it lifelong when you work with data. Okay. Don't worry about this function. There is a detailed session will walk you through on functions. I want to talk more about group by. So this will not work without some function. That's why I'm showing an example. Like this, there are plenty of functions. All functions are now, it will be very easy for you to learn because either you have learned Excel or Power BI, right? Everything is same. No difference at all. So it will be very easy for you to understand. Okay. Now, so far what we did segment ka total sales. Now I want to show quantity also. I told you, right? If you want to create new comma, give comma, sum quantity as total quantity. No, that is the question I wanted to focus on. Whenever you give group by is only for dimensions, not for measures. In group by, you should always give only dimension. No need to give this one. These are all measures, not required. You can see now total quantity has automatically come up. You can even verify it with Excel if the numbers are correct. What is the easiest way to validate this number in Excel? Fast. Pivot tables. We learned about pivot tables, right? So consumer 1170659, 1170659. Total quantity 19844, 19844. This is how you can do data validation. Okay. I have seen nowadays the market is dry, but there are some openings for all the data guys, and most of the work is this one only. You will get asked by a lot of questions about SQL visualization and all, but when you get a project and you start working with your client, your job is this one only. You have to write a query. Already one Excel sheet is there, match the data. That's it. That's it. I am now working on one new project. I have to hire 60 people internally. They are all on bench. This is the job. already there is some data in an Excel sheet, and we need to write a query. The data is in database. What they have done is client before was using everything on Excel. Now client realized, okay, Excel is very dangerous. They moved everything to database. Now they want to verify once whatever the reports they created in Excel is same in data. Numbers are same or not. So they want some people who knows Excel and SQL. Okay. Excel is not like every report is not like pivot table is not there. They will give you data like this. And they will tell, okay, this is the database. Can you match this? So this is the job. I mean, you will feel like easy, but when you start working on it, right? Here I'm writing simple queries, there it will be complicated queries. That's it. But you got the job roles, right? So the roles are very, sometimes very easy, sometimes very difficult, but it is fun. If you love data, it's fun to work with. So now we know how to add sales, how to add quantity. Now I want to give a split along with segment. I also want region. Let's see how it will work. Yeah.
The group by segment, right? You said that it is only for dimensions. But before also there was dimension, right?
Where there was no dimension.
Some
This is not dimension. A sum of sales is a measure.
measurement.
Measures we will not give in group by, only dimension. Anything called country, city, state, region, product name, these are all dimensions. Measures, anything you measure, sum, count, average, you don't have to give it in group by class. Okay. Now I want to show the split of both segment and region. If I run this query, again it will throw up an error because it is simply saying that region is invalid in the select clause because it is not an aggregate function in the group by, which means it is simply saying region is not there in the group by. Please go ahead and add it. I'll add region. Now, if I run this query, what it will do basically is for first, it will go fetch all the segments. For that segments, whatever the regions we have, it will fetch that. Then it will print the sales and quantity. Now, if you look at our Excel data, this is our Excel data. This is what it is trying to build. Okay. Only thing is in Excel, it's one below the other. You know how to enable this on the right hand side in Excel? I showed this option, right? Pivot tables. You forgot, huh? Okay. So same thing SQL is also doing here. But you might be slightly confused because here first the record is consumer, then it is corporate. Right? You want to print all the consumers first and then remaining items. That's where we will go ahead and use our new statement, which is called as order by. Okay, order by means sorting. Order by segment. Segment is the column name. How do I want to order it? Either ascending or descending. If you want to sort by ascending, you should call it as ASC. That is the shortcut. Now, if you see here, consumer ka whatever we have, we got everything. And then it goes to corporate, we got everything. Likewise, I got for home office. Can you write this query? We're getting totals only. I mean, some operation is happening at these two levels now. Subtotals, that is pivot table. Excel, by default, in this thing, it is there, but it's not like direct. Direct, it will not do.
Total also.
Total also.
Sir, can you repeat that? What is that ASC?
ASC means ascending order.
Okay.
A to Z. Okay. If you want descending order, you should say DESC, which will be descending order. Order by is the most important statement. There's a lot of things behind this order by only. Okay. Now instead of ASC, you go ahead and change it to DESC and see if everything is now by Z to A. Home office should come first, then corporate, then consumer. Look at the query, how robust is this query? It is not going by the first letter. If you look at corporate and consumer, both starts with C. Then it goes to O, both starts with O. Right. Then it goes to the third one, R. Right? Okay. Shall we move to the next one? We'll take a break at 11:30. Now, instead of this
We can do region.
you can do region also. That's what the question is. Instead of segment, if you want to do sorting by region, just type region. You will see everything is sorted by region. दो भी करेगा नेस्टेड सॉर्टिंग करेगा एक्सेल में नेस्टेड सॉर्टिंग करता हूँ पहले एग्जांपल रीजन दिया तो पहले रीजन पे जाएगा उसके बाद सेगमेंट पे अब नेक्स्ट वही दिखाने वाला ओके वर्किंग हाँ working huh? Okay, now take a look at this one. I have now added both the fields. Okay, order by segment comma region.
And the descending clause is happening on the what do we call that measure, right, Javed? Like the total sales and quantity.
No. Descending, everything is happening for dimensions. I have given the dimensions here, no?
Okay.
No. What I have done is segment may I want to sort it by ascending order. Region I want to sort it by descending order. Please note, if you don't give anything, by default it will be ascending order. Okay. Now take a look at it. Everything, this one segment is ascending order. Now region is in descending order. This is called as nested sorting. We learned this in Excel also. It's same concept. First it will sort this one and then it will sort this one. No, this is not in descending order because first it will go here, sorted, then it will go sorted descending. If you see here, as per this number has to come below, but still as per this sorting, it is there. That's why this number is still here because S is here, no? After W, S will come. Though East in the later part, but here if I, the moment I remove this, And if I run this now, you will see automatically that number has come up. Okay. Now I'll remove everything and I'll just put sum of sales. Nothing else. Order by sum of sales. Whichever is the highest sales value, I want that to be in the top. Okay. Please note, when you work with order by, there is no condition key. It's only dimension. It's only measure. You can add anything in order by. It is nothing but sort. You can sort dimension also. You can sort a number also, a measure also. It will work on both the scenarios. Now, if I remove DSC and add ASC, everything should be in ascending order. Clear? Any doubts?
Ascending order, just for our reference.
Huh.
With that also the formula executing.
I told no, this is a comment. Whenever you give a hyphen, this is comment. Anything in green, it means it's not a code, it's a kind of some notes.
It's not taken.
It will not take. But if you give this entire line will not get executed. Okay. Anything in green will not get executed. Okay. So we learned about group by, we learned about order by. Now let's review the order of operation. Just control S, no? Just give control S, you save it in some folder. Today's 4th, right? Day 4, right? Order of operation, let's review it. Where was that? We wrote already, no? Here. So first from gets executed, then where clause will get executed. What else did we write?
Order by.
Group by, no? And then order by, and then select clause will get executed. Okay, very important. These are the 5 order of operations. Please remember, though you write select in the beginning of your query, it doesn't mean that first part that gets executed. Whenever you are working with any scenario where already the queries are shared with you, the way you need to learn how to read a query is start reading from. Don't start reading from here. You will learn why in coming sessions. The way you need to read a query is you should start from the right hand side. Then go to the left hand side because you should know which tables are those. Okay. So let's complete our last topic before we go for the break. We learned about giving alias, right? Example, this is called as a segment, but I don't want to call this as a segment when we run the query. I want to call this as, give some name to me instead of segment. I'll say business unit, for example. You can see that. Though the column name in the backend is segment, in the front end, I want to give it as business unit. Okay. For region, probably I don't want to call it as region. I want to call it as group. Some business requirement. Maybe the end user doesn't want to call that name. Now see here, automatically region as group. So let's
Group it has taken as.
It's calling out a function, right?
yes. So let's go ahead and execute this. Okay. Other way is we can give colon group so that it will understand that I'm calling a column called group. Okay. Clear? Any doubts? Okay, we'll be back in 5 minutes. Please go ahead and take a break. Hey, we are back from the break. Let me know if my voice.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Jeff.
देखो पाइथन में यही कोड रहेगा, एक ही बार इंसर्ट स्टेटमेंट कॉल हो रहा है ना, इधर वैल्यूज में स्टैटिक 5 पास कर रहा है ना, यहाँ पे एक वेरिएबल डिक्लेयर कर देगा, तो वेरिएबल ऑटोमेटिकली फ्रंट एंड से एक HTML फॉर्म में जो भी फॉर्म नेम रहेगा वो दे देगा, तो ऑटो इंसर्ट हो जाएगा. Why would you need 100 data entry people to do? No need to. Python is our next language. After you learn SQL, SQL is only data language. I don't see any reason for not learning Python, but it's up to your capacity. Like if you're really comfortable, agar aapko SQL, if you're feeling confident, then definitely learn Python. If you're feeling SQL itself is tough, then first learn SQL, and then instead of learning 100 different things, become master in any one or two. Then you call yourself that, okay, I am a master in this. I know at least some advanced stuff in this particular area. Then you learn whatever you want. Okay, so we learned about operators from where, group by, and all. No, what else is pending? Let's write a simple statement: select star from superstore. I have 10,194 records. I want only top 100 records. Okay, this is also one requirement, that though you have so much of data, can you show me top 10 records, top 100 records? Simple. After rating select, you say top 100. Okay, please note this top 100 wala, no, this keyword is only supported in Microsoft SQL Server. Okay, if you write this query in MySQL, which is a product of Oracle, the syntax is different. I think they call it as limit, something like that, but that's not our focus point. We are learning Microsoft SQL Server. It's top 100, and instead of top 100 you want top 10, just write top 10.
It's on what basis to take on total sales?
Random. We are not specifying any sales kuch bhi nahi. It's by default, it's whatever the data you have stored in that format, it will get the top random 100 records. If you see here, all the row IDs randomly it has put. Now if I run this again,
Then we can use like any 10,
sorry,
top 10.
Huh.
You take the top list,
Hmm.
more on
On what basis it will select as top 10, sir?
I'll show you. Select star from superstore. You take a look at this. My data mein, my first record which is stored is 1380. Second is 1234. If you count from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have stored my data like this. If I have stored my data, for example, like this, then it will pull the top 10 records, which is this one. Now I haven't stored my data like this. My data is stored in this way. From here, whatever the top 10 records, it is going to take.
the first 10 records of the day.
First 10 records which is saved in your table. Okay. Can you write this and see if it is working? No, bottom is not there. I don't know if minus will work. I have never tried minus. No, it doesn't support.
Last 100. That also we put.
I mean, there are ways with the help of subquery we can do it. I'll show that like how we can do it with the help of subqueries. Okay, it's working. Now let's go ahead and learn a little bit about our important operators. Okay, so we'll start with basics. So let's start from, for example, I want to, let's go ahead and see sales. I want sales between 50 to 100. Okay, I'll say where sales between 50 and 100. So you can see here, nothing will be above, 100. Everything will be in the range of 50 and 100 only. Please note that you are saying sales, which is again row level. You are not calling sum of sales. You are just calling sales as a direct column. Every record it will go and find what is the sales value. If it is between 50 and 100, it will pull that. And we are learning another operator which is called as between. So far we used is equal to, no? So this is between. Can you try this? No. ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಕಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ I mean, ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಕಟ್ ಏನ್ರಿ? If this same SQL query, if I ask you to write it in Java or Python, let's take Python also. Python, first you have to write so much of stuff, then only it will come result. SQL, one line, you are getting everything. Java, C++, PHP, everything, JavaScript. Okay, working out. Let's go to the next requirement. I want all the records except those records where the sales is not equals to 71.976. I don't want any record which has that value called 71.976. I want to exclude that value. Rest I want everything. I'll copy the same statement. Okay. Now, if you see here, you will not find any record with the value called 71.976. Not equals to, you can give it like this, or you can give it like this. Both are same. Nested means?
Now we are saying only one value. So can we give that not equal to here that?
That not with the help of this statement, there will be another way we can use that.
It's only
Specific values. Okay, use
the range between.
I'm just trying out one scenario. 32 points. Just give and it will get us. So you said like you want to exclude these two, no? So I'm saying sales not equal to 71 and sales is again not equal to 32 points. No, it will not work.
Only for specific values we can use.
Yes, whenever you use these operators is equal to greater than, it only takes this value. But there is another function with that we can do it. Okay, clear? Any doubts? So we learned about so these things I am not going detail like greater than. These are all simple. Okay. If you say greater than, it will be greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to. Now the new one which we learned is not equal to. You can also write it like this. Okay. These are all called as operators. Okay, let's go to the next one. So select star from this one. I want to see only those records where the quantity is either 5 or 10. If you see here, we have varieties of data, 2 have, 1 have, 5 have, 10 have, and all of that. Simply copy paste in SQL now. Copy paste is one of very useful. You don't have to write query again and again. Copy paste. Now what I will do is, since my question here is multiple values, right? So they have to select multiple values. We can use in. Open a bracket. Now I'll say 5 comma 10. Oh, sorry, quantity, right? This is called as in operator. Now you will see only those values where it is either 5 or 10. You can give as many range as you want. I'll say now I want also 1. You see 1 is in. Clear? Now I'll reverse this question. I will say I don't want any quantities which is 5, 10 and 1. No, that is actually a good skill. So you just say not.
Not in.
Not in. Okay. So you'll see all those values. It is not 5, 10 and 1. So we learned about 2 operators here. In, multiple, comma separated.
Quick in 11.
Okay. Now I'll put same thing. I'll put one more question. I want all the records where the region is not region. Let's say subcategory is phone, storage, and art. So far we worked with the numerical data. No? You are selecting quantity mein 5, 10 and all of that. The next question is subcategory mein we have so many subcategories. I want only those subcategories which is phone, storage, and art. Simple. Copy the same statement. Remove quantity and add subcategory. Now, since we are working with string, give it in single quotes. I'll see phone, comma, storage, comma, art.
Sir, in subcategory there is no any space, but still you have given hyphen over there.
No,
I
if you
mean
see,
bracket for that.
because there is a special character, right?
Okay.
So whenever you work with white space special character, it is always advised to give brackets, else your query will not understand.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you see here, we have got only phone storage, art, nothing else. Now, same question, if I say, I don't want any records which is phone storage and art, just add not in. No change in the way you use in operator. Make sure if you are using any string values, give in single quotes. If it is numerical, no need to give. And if you're working with dates, again, there you have to give in single quotes. Okay. I'll paste these queries in the chat box. If you want to try it out, go ahead. Working on. Shall we go to the next one? Shall we go to the next one? Okay. Let's take the same example subcategory. I want all the records where the first letter of the subcategory starts with P. Okay, I'll repeat my question. I want all the records where subcategory, the first letter starts with P. And this part, you have to focus a little bit. This is a little bit detailed topic. So there's something called like operator. Okay, we'll be using a like operator for majority of find. In Excel, you have learned about that find, right? So same thing, find function, also you do control F, both are same only. So same thing, you can also use it here, where subcategory like single quotes P percentage. Percentage means it starts with a letter P, after that it can be anything. Let's go ahead and run this query. There is subcategory. You can also say PA. Very important function, very complicated function. Lot of complicated questions can be easily solved using like operator. No need of breaking our head. Working up? You want me to paste the query? I'll put another question. Instead of starting with P, let's go for product name now, because it's a very good use case here. Product name is having very lengthy combination of some unique words. All those product names, instead of starting with the letter PA, I want the ending is with ER. Any product which is ending with these two letters called ER, I want only those records. Only change is percentage you put in the beginning and then add ER. Which means starting can be anything, end should be having this letter called ER. You can take a look at the example now. Okay.
So, but you are given subcategory.
Yeah. Got this. We got lot many products with ER.
Can be without bracket also, right?
Which one?
Product name.
No, space is there, no?
Ah.
That's fine.
Okay.
You can expect at least one question on the like operator. Okay. I'll frame the next question. Same product name mein, I want all those products which has the letter called IN. It can be anywhere. It can be starting, beginning, middle. It's like you're trying to search some letter, some word in IN in.
First, where like is equal to I.
Is equal to नहीं है ना?
Like only IN you. Pending.
Yeah. IN is there is a letter called IN wherever it can be. It can find the. I'll show you. Like operator contains the letter IN. All you have to do is add IN percentage, which means this IN can be anywhere. It's like finding a subset of your letters.
It's for product name.
Product name. See here, IN is there. Here. This particular method, you will use it a lot. You will get lot of work, lot of questions. This is the most amongst all the other one. Adding percentage between it is like contains. I can also say if it contains anything called folder, I have to give it in both percentage. See all wherever it is folder, it will come up.
Row not well is not like.
Oh, sorry. Not like. You can just give not like. You'll get all the other products apart from this. Okay, working. Let's go to the next one. This is the last one. Okay. Now I'll slightly make it more complex. What I want to know is, look at the product ID. Okay. I want those product IDs wherever it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth position is P. In product ID, if the fifth position of the letter is P, I want only those. Okay. Now let's go ahead and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Even that hyphen we have to calculate, no, sir?
Yeah, hyphen means it can have some character.
Okay.
Underscore, yes. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, we gave product name, no? Product ID. You can see here. Okay. Before you try it out, I'll just quickly show you one more scenario in the same example. Now, instead of P, I want only those after 1000 if it is 4. I want only those product IDs. So only wherever it is 4. What is the position of 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12th. If the 12th position is 4, then I want only those records. You have to add 12 underscores. Oh, sorry. Reverse means?
Percentage on the market.
You can do that. Both same works. But here the important aspect to learn is underscore. Underscore is nothing but there is a column called product ID. The first underscore can be anything. It can be alphabet, numeric, or whatever it can be. So number of underscore you add, it means number of letters you are bypassing. But you are specifying the position. If there are 10 underscore, it means 10 positions. Okay. We will see here only those wherever it is 4. You will only see that. That too specifically on the 12th position of it. Okay. Not anywhere else.
We're doing the other way.
Hmm.
First percentage,
Hmm.
then 4.
Hmm.
Then
No. If you're doing reverse, from here you have to count. 1, 2, 3. 3 underscore and then 4. Okay. If you want, I'll just paste the query. So we learned 5 different methods in like operator. Starting with, ending with, contains, a specific pattern, ending and starting. So that's it on the like operator. So same condition, if your question is you don't want any products which has that number 4 in that product ID, just add not like. Okay, so we move to the last topic for today. Yesterday we created a city master table, if you remember. City master. Okay, so I want to write a query. So this select star from superstore query should only execute when this query has some results. Okay, so I'll repeat my question. Select star from superstore. Let's make it simpler. I'll say select star from superstore where segment is equal to consumer. Okay. Now, this is a simple query which you have learned, but you get some requirement that instead of segment is equal to consumer, you have to get the results of superstore only when there is some results coming in from the second query. Okay. So all you have to do is use an operator called exist, which means if something gets output from this query, only then this query will get executed. Let's first see what will happen here. Okay. Now, if I query, everything is coming as expected. We have lot of cities, right? We have lot of city IDs. I'm sure we don't have Bangalore there. I'll put a where clause. City is equal to Bangalore. Now, if I run this query, will you get any results? It will be blank. Now, if I run this entire query, will it get any results? No, how it will get? Exist, we are saying, no? Exist means if something exists in this query, only then this query gets executed. That's when we will use exist operator.
It's two database taken
Results from. Okay. This is very useful in a scenario. Think like you have two different tables. You have a transaction table, you have a master table. You want to only print all the records from transaction table, but there should be some, at least there should be one record in your table, irrespective of whatever it is. Sometimes that master table is blank. You don't want your query to run. Example, employee table master. We don't have any employees. So you don't want to run that query, right? In that scenario, you can go ahead and use exist operator. Okay. What are we missing? One of the most important aspect of SQL. You would have heard about this a lot. How to get unique values. In Excel also we learned about, right? How to get unique values. How do we get unique values? If you look at this one, order IDs, there are repeated, no? These guys are repeated. I want only unique order IDs. This is a very important question in interview. How do you write a SQL query to get unique records? Okay, let's look at this. There is something called distinct. Distinct is the keyword, then the column name. Here the column name is order ID. We have around 5,111 unique orders. Okay. Can you check if it is working? Working up. Now I'll change my question. Instead of unique, I want duplicate values. I want only those order IDs which are duplicate. I don't want unique. Right? We learned in Excel also, now how to find it in Excel. Excel mein, we know how to find the duplicate values, how to find unique values. Conditional formatting. You want me to show it to you? Example, here you applied conditional formatting mein remove duplicates, right? Instead of remove duplicates, there's an option called unique. Only unique values will get highlighted. Again, this is also most important. This is slightly lengthy query. So you can take a look at the query first. I will say select order ID from Superstore. Order ID get comma count of order ID, which means it will take order ID, then it will count how many order IDs do we have. We need to add group by. Whenever you use any function, which is especially the aggregate functions like sum, count, always do group by. Now here, group by the dimension, which is order ID. Let's go ahead and run this query now. You can see this particular order ID. There are 5 times it is repeated. So what is the logic? Any ID, order ID, which is greater than 1, which means it's a duplicate, right? Now, how can you filter this data? I want to filter this data where the records are greater than 5. Just now we learned, right? Before greater than, what is the clause you will use? Order by to sort ho jayega. It will be sorted. Group by already I have added. Distinct nahe. Where clause you have heard, right? But here where clause will not work. Where clause is a row level operation. Okay. So we have having. Okay. Always remember where clause will work at a row level. Here the data is not at row level. You have first taken the data, took a count. On top of the count, whatever results you get, you want to filter. In Power BI, you can take it like a table calculation. After the results are populated, you want to then put a filter. That's when we should use having. Okay. Having count of order ID greater than 1. Okay. I'll repeat my answer statement again. The difference between where and having. Where is it will basically go at a row level and then filter the data. Having will first get this output and then put this filter. Because you are doing a count on top of getting the results of count, you are putting a filter. Very important question. This will solve multiple problems. What is duplicate? Can you try this query? There might be a variation in the order of operations. Either having will come first and then select. I'll confirm it tomorrow. But this now you look at the order of operations. Okay.
Sir, where in Excel, after we removing the duplicates, it will reduce the rows count, right?
Hmm.
But how in this, sir? Like,
It is reduced, no?
Only 5, 2, 5, 1, 8.
You can see 2518.
okay, okay.
I'll frame another question. Instead of duplicate records, I want only those orders which are placed more than 2 times.
Is equal to.
More than 2 times.
It is a.
Exactly. These are those orders which are placed then more than 2 times. So more than, when you say is equal to, it will take 2 also. If you say greater than, after 2, which is 3, 4, 5, whatever it is, okay?
We want only the orders which
Is equal
greater
to.
2. Okay,
Is equal.
remove.
Now, this query will also work for getting unique records. If I say is equal to 1, what is equal to 1? Unique records. 2593. And if you do select distinct,
Numbers. 511, 2.
5111 is the correct one. Okay, we'll check that one, no problem. Greater than 1. Okay.
Of operations, having will be 6.
Having will be the last one. Clear? Any doubts? So today, if you just summarize, so we have learned a lot on DQL, which is data query language, all about select statements. These are the basics of SQL. I don't see any other area where you will feel difficulty. If you get anything to work on, this is all you will work on. It will be basically select star from where clause using operators. So for whatever operators, please practice all this. Out of 10 questions, you will at least answer 7 questions. You have got the data also with me, Superstore ka. Practice it with all types of combinations. You have all the columns, everything you have. Practice it and see how the results are coming.
DQ is data.
Data query language. Any questions? So these are the basics of SQL. From the next week onwards, we'll go slightly more deep in the SQL topics. But everywhere you can see that whatever we have learned, we'll be reusing this for rest of our sessions, but the concepts would be different. Okay, now I'll probably put focus more on the functions, especially on the date functions and the mathematical functions. Okay, so those are very important, and the rest of those are some advanced topics. We will see how we can take that. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining. Let's meet next week. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever we need to do, we should